It's time for Q&A in the Kitchen. It's a podcast and YouTube series where tattoo artists and piercers talk about and answer some of the more common questions that those that collect tattoos and piercings may have. Brought to you in part by Skin Kitchen Tattoo and the Axiom Body Piercing Studio. Well, on the panel today, we have some of the usual suspects. On my right, your left, is Jimmy Two Cheeks.
What's up? Nobody saw me. You can't prove a thing.
All right. Yeah, deny everything.
Always.
And directly to my right, your left, would be Jack Lowe of Skin Kitchen Tattoo.
What's up, G?
And then there's me, DaVo, the owner-operator of the Axiom Body Piercing Studio. I do the piercing of the bodies and put shiny objects in it. And then directly to my left and your right is Michelle from Velvet Lotus, in guesting for a few episodes today. How long you been in this? Let the people know. They need to know
Who you is.
who you is.
Who he is, man. Thanks, guys. Like you said, I'm Michelle. That's it.
That's
Where you
it.
be from? Yeah.
Yeah, where are you
Mic drop.
from? Where's
It's all I
Michelle.
can remember.
Kapoop.
I tattoo at Velvet Lotus Tattoo in Iowa City, Iowa. I've been tattooing since 1996. I got in the industry in 93.
Wow. That's awesome.
And the thing that we realized when we were outside having not smoking cigarettes is that we both started when we were 25.
Uh-huh.
So when we were 50, or you're going to be, because I'm older than you, we would have spent half our lives. So now I'm in the point of over half.
I've been over that for a little bit, I think.
I'm just under. I'm 46, and I started in 99, so I got like 20 years.
Okay. You're getting there.
I'm close.
It'll be in July. It'll be 28 years for me.
Yeah, so you have a year on me.
And how many for you, Michelle?
25 this year.
So, like, between all of us, we have...
Well,
Ooh,
How long for you,
that's
DaVo?
interesting.
27, soon to be 20, or 26, soon to be 27.
Geez, we have like 90-something years, roughly.
Oh,
somewhere
over that.
that.
Well
yeah.
over 100. So what we're going to talk...
That's wild. Sorry.
Yeah, I know it's fascinating to have us sit here and talk about how long we've been doing this.
Yeah,
But
sorry.
what
right.
we're going to be... It might be for somebody. I don't know.
The 4 of you that are left, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
stick around for the rest of it. What we're going to talk about today is conventions, kind of what you should expect if you go to one, maybe some hints on going to them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Can I kick this
Yeah,
off?
absolutely.
have at it.
Well, I was just going to say, with the king and the queen of the nation allowing us to maybe possibly, if we're good, to go out and see things that we like again.
By the 4th of July is what they're saying.
But now there's, there was some little ones popping up, but the more popularity that tattoos gain, more and more people want to get in on it, more fans, they require more of them. So when they do start rocking, which I'm sure they will here now in spring and everything, some people have never been and they don't really know what to expect. And some people might look and see that there's an artist that they really enjoy and really like and might want to get tattooed by that person but not really know how to go about it. They might think that, I just go to there and I talk to them, which that's not always the best way to do it.
No, chances are you're not going to get in.
I think that side of it is probably the quicker conversation, so we can knock that one out first.
Yeah.
That back in the day, and with some artists, they really they like the kind of I'll just call it the fair aspect of it, where it's very live, it's very open, it's very from the hip, and they won't pre-schedule anything.
Right.
They'll just kind of, they'll just have fun. Because maybe, you know what, today, I don't want an appointment. I'm going to go hang out with so-and-so and so-and-so. I only get to see them, and all that. So they play it a little looser. Other people work way better by appointment, and they will book sometimes their conventions a year ahead.
Oh, yeah.
So it really depends on the artist and how many people are requiring them to, how long it'll wait. But so I would suggest looking at the conventions if you're thinking of going to one. and looking at the names of the artists, and it usually changes up to like a week.
Yeah.
You know, it really does, because artists are just people, and you know, things happen. But anyway, and if you see that name, if you see the name of the person that you're wanting to schedule with, then get in contact with their studio or their person or them or however they do that.
Yeah.
And start the conversation that, hey, I would like to get tattooed by you at this convention. And at that point, they'll tell you, okay, great, I don't have, or I have time, or I don't set up appointments, or whatever it'll be.
Yeah,
then you'll know. But don't run into the disappointment of going, oh man, you know,
I was
this
just going
guy's
to walk in and
there,
get this. Yeah.
and you go up and they look at you and go, dude, man.
Yeah. I've been booked for this
You know.
convention for like half a year.
Yeah, you know, I'm booked next convention, and I think the next one after that. But yeah, like, you know, if you want to get on the next one, I think I have, you know, for, you know, whatever it is. And then that just crushes you, and you're never going to get tattooed by that person, because your dreams are crushed. But anyway, contact the person, or there's always booths there that do just run on walk up.
Yeah.
They might not be as established, or like I said, they might be a very established person, but they just like to play it loose and pick and choose and grab whatever they want, you know, out of these people that are going to want tattooed from them.
Right.
So there's always people that are going to take walk-ups. So get there and walk around, get to know some of the artists, look at their work. And the first day is always a really good day to kind of go around and poke people, because they're not swamped yet.
Right.
You know, by the beginning of the next day, they're usually pretty swamped, and it gets harder and harder and harder to set something up. So use that time to walk around, kind of talk to the people, flip through portfolios, and start a relationship. And if it works and it goes that way, great. You know, you're gonna get tattooed at this convention. You guys worked on something. Man, look at this freaking great tattoo I got. It was awesome. And now you know that person, and maybe you'll see him next year. You know, and you start and you've got a relationship going.
And some of your more established conventions, like the more like bigger names and bit more prestigious ones that are out there, it's hard to find a shoddy tattoo artist in one of them things. Like they don't. A lot of that stuff's invite only.
That's
you know what I mean. It's selected who comes there. It's not just anybody can come.
Depending on the like I said, there's more bigger tours, but there are still those smaller tours.
Yes.
So depending on the tour, you might. I don't want to say, you know, you're not guaranteed, but your chances are way higher,
way better,
to get a better tattoo at, you know, the bigger conventions. But you're going to pay probably 4 times more for a hotel. You're going to spend, you know,
it's expensive.
Probably for a weekend, you're going to spend $300 or
absolutely,
you know, $200
before the tattoo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just for your pass, you know. So, you know, it's the give and the take. It's how important is it to you to have that?
Okay, so advice-wise, would you think that it's better to kind of figure out that you're going to get like a 3-hour souvenir-style tattoo, or should it be, you know, because I think if you went in there and said, I want to work on my back.
Well, it all depends on the artist.
It all depends. I worked the convention circuit for a large part of the first part of my career. And the artist that taught me and apprenticed me was a convention artist. So like that's how I got apprenticed most of the time, was on the road, which was very cool. I was fortunate enough to come up around a lot of cool tattooers and old school guys and whatever. But I've seen people come in and like book Bob Terrell for a whole day. And I love Bob. He's a terrific artist, but he can be slow, like starting and stuff. If you have a noon appointment with him, you might start tattooing by like 3 or 4.
Yeah. And
he's not going to stop if you paid for the whole day until he's done with that portrait, because that was the whole day, whatever it was, or how he, you know, got it set up. And he'll tattoo you till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
His day isn't necessarily based on the calendar.
Yeah, exactly.
or the clock.
But that's convention stuff. You know what I mean? And like I've seen people come in and bust out parts of, or you know, most of back pieces, or a huge piece, or little souvenir stuff. Like that's the fun thing about a convention, is it's like a carnival. There's an opportunity to buy books and art that you normally wouldn't be able to buy, like prints and stuff. You get a chance to get close to one of your artists that you've only seen on television or in a magazine, or, you know.
It's really kind of like, you know, and there's more and more tattoo fans now that follow different artists and really like their work, like comic books. It's almost like a Comic-Con.
Almost,
you know, if you're a fan,
if
you're a fan, you know, I'm just going to say Kat Von D because that's going to be recognizable by a lot of people. But if you're a Kat Von D fan, whoever it is, you can more than likely go up, watch her work,
Yeah, within like 6-7 feet.
Which, how often do you get to see an artist, a painter, a sculptor, or anyone
doing their thing,
be within 2 feet of them and watch them do what they do? That that's incredible for a fan. But you'll more than likely you'll get to talk to her and be able to buy probably a piece of art that isn't available anywhere else on the planet other than at that booth that weekend.
It's a really cool experience.
Or at a convention. So they're almost in a way almost like a Comic-Con of tattooing,
especially with Ink Master and stuff, because they have contracts to go and travel and be at certain shows.
Yeah.
So.
And that
if
kind
you're
of
a
rolls
fan,
into the other side of why you even go to a convention if you're not wanting to get a tattoo per se.
Right. Well, I'm a tattoo artist, and I love going to a tattoo convention. It gives me a chance to buy T-shirts, see friends, maybe some equipment that I don't want to order on Amazon or Kingpin and wait for 2 weeks to get. I can go there and get it from the supply because I am a reputable tattoo artist. They know me. Not just anybody can do that.
Right.
But
there's that convention side to it, but there's a really big fan side.
Exactly.
Too,
and that's what's exciting about it.
And I think maybe that's what some people don't understand when you say a tattoo convention. When you usually say convention,
it sounds boring.
And it sounds like it's just for people who are in the industry. And it's not
a trade show.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not at all.
It's part trade show because there are machine builders, there are manufacturers, there are ink.
There is stuff for us for the industry.
There's
seminars.
Yeah,
exactly. There's all that, but on top of it, there's this Comic-Con going on.
Yes,
and that's where all the arts and the clothing and the
it's a chance to
everything
interact
really.
with the public basically and be as close to you as possible and
basically
open the doors.
Put it in your head that everything's about where we live. Buy, sell, make some money. So if you sell something and it really appeals to people who are in the tattoo field or like tattoos, you're probably going to try to get to that convention. Yeah. And that's pretty much what it is. If you have purses, if you have, anything, T-shirts, stickers, jewelry, anything that is related to tattooing, depending on the size of the convention, you're going to find it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. Like, even if, if you haven't been to one and you want to experience the culture or whatever, like, it's a good place to come and just see see what's going on and
on top of that, they usually have entertainment. Sometimes it's live bands. Have you seen anything nutty at a convention that like any kind of stage shows and
side shows and stuff all the time?
Yeah, I've seen the suspension.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And can you describe what that is without people puking?
Yeah.
Kinda.
DaVo probably
DaVo, why don't you
That's more
explain quickly what is suspension?
Basically, it's not something I'm going to do, mainly because I'm not a rigger. I don't know anything about rigging. I've never sailed. I don't have any interest in sailing, and I've never done circus stuff. But basically what it is they insert or pierce areas of the body, usually the back, and then slide in hooks, and then they tie it to rigging, and they suspend them from the air.
Yeah.
Or from the roof or whatever rigging they have going on.
That and some sideshow stuff.
Yeah.
I think
the Enigma.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the people that like light cigarettes with sparks and they swallow swords.
Yeah, like freak shows.
Yeah, kind of freak show kind of circus stuff.
Kind of like the Torture King or Jim Rose.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think I might have. You know what? I did see Enigma because he was
City.
with Jim Rose.
Yeah,
that's where he started.
And I did see I might have seen the Jim Rose thing maybe a couple times at a couple different conventions. That's right around the time I was hitting them when I did. It was around the time they were kind of popular and the freak show thing was kind of coming out because, the tattoo culture was kind of budding into the sort of kind of breaking soil a little bit.
Yeah. All that rise of alternative culture that happened in the early 90s with.
Yeah.
And these ain't Jinko jeans. You can't just throw them in the,
right.
You got to, even if you don't dig them, you got to pretend you do because you can't get them off easily.
Yeah. So there's another element where it's people in the industry that never get together. And I was talking about this recently. I don't know if it was in comments or where, is how people that work in the industry tend to get isolated sometimes, especially if you're alone and you're working your shop. Your focus is on your clients and what you got going on and what's going on for that day. And if you don't have a lot of artists around you that you can talk to and et cetera, it's really easy to just get locked into this.
Yeah, tunnel vision.
This is the way things are.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think it's more so piercing maybe than tattooing, because usually in most cases there's only like one guy or two people that work at a piercing place.
Yeah. I like the
Energy.
inspiration and the energy. That's what I go for. That's what I like.
And then there's also the partying.
Well, yeah, but I always said it was like recharging my batteries. Every time I started feeling kind of burnout and at a kind of a sticking point where I didn't feel like I was progressing right. Man, I'd go to a convention, and whether I wanted it or not, it would just recharge.
Yes.
Yeah, I would be chomping at the bit to get home and tattoo because I was just inspired by all this tattooing going on and this energy and this vibe, and
just push yourself.
It's a really neat place. It's a neat when you're at a place that everyone's there for a common goal or a common like, because everyone in the room is kind of pre-qualified to be your friend. You know, like at nothing else, dude. You know, hey, we like this. You know, we have at least
we got a common bond.
Yeah, you have somewhere to start in a way. You have commonality with them, and so that brings the tension down just that much more to where you get this even more friendly vibe, and everybody's relaxed, and you can just enjoy everybody else. And
I love a tattoo convention.
Watch freaks like yourself and just and feel comfortable at it, especially back in the day when
absolutely
you did, when people really did stare. Now even if they do, you don't know.
It doesn't matter.
But back in the day, you were a little more of a standout, a little more of a weirdo creep, and it was really, really cool to walk into a place like that and see people that were so tattooed it made you feel like a poser.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a really cool vibe.
Yeah, it was really neat. And even these days,
Sorry,
it's still like a recharge. Like, I enjoy going.
Yeah.
Just as much.
Yeah, I'm now lost track of what I said.
Oh, but you're going to be working. You're going to be working. Your shop's going to be at the
you're gonna be
Moines
at the one
Tattoo
that's here
Convention,
in
right?
Des Moines,
The one that's coming up.
Yeah, I'm excited to go to.
That's awesome.
I haven't been in.
Are you booked up yet for it, or are you just kind of playing it loose, or what are you going to do?
I've got 2 regular clients for sure that are some of my Des Moines girls that I'm going to set appointments with, but mostly I think that I'm going to kind of do it more like when I first started going in the 90s.
Yeah, man, hang loose, have fun.
Yeah, have fun, have a good time, and see what happens.
It's like a reunion almost for artists. For me, it is.
Do they still do the tattoo contest?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's a way to see a lot of different artists that may not be there. And usually it's local artists that you may not know about. And just to explain that is it's usually they have like different, and I'm not a big fan of, hey, let's have a competition about art. It's viewed as the best art because it's really comes down to personal taste and so many different things.
It's hard to judge art. I wouldn't want to be a judge.
Nope.
And but it gives you an eye, if you sit there and you watch it, you're seeing like probably everybody that tattoos within a 100-mile radius of wherever you're located at.
Yeah.
And you're going to know, oh, wow, that artist did that. So that's going to cue you in on somebody that maybe you should check out.
I've got some clients that I have been suggesting, why don't you go? Why don't you, come show off your work? Not as in a I want to be conceited sort of way. Well, no. I am proud, but it's fun for them. That's something for the client to do, to show off their work. That's,
you got
you
this
walk
great
around
tattoo
the convention floor, maybe half naked or whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely a place where you can do that.
I'm going to a convention with her.
Yeah, you see people in the body webs and like they're showing off their work. There's
I
people,
plan on coming over and hanging out with you
I hope it's like that. It was, many a times I've gone, but
every time.
People taking pictures of other people's work that they admire that they might, like DaVo says, you'll never see that work again, whether they're local or not.
Because not everybody makes the pick of whatever they put out, and let's face it, we live in a world where we are constantly assaulted by content. It's really hard to see everything. Just the way it is,
and seeing it in person.
And back to when you said you're not a big fan of the competitions. I'm not necessarily either, because I completely agree with you, and it's how do you compare? But almost in my mind almost tradition, because back when there was very few artists and you were trying to get people to look at you, that was a great way to get that to happen. It was advertising, like you said. You're gonna see a tattoo from someone you may not even know existed.
Right.
They might have got second, third, fifth, maybe not even placed, whatever the hell,
But you saw it.
You saw it. And it just kind of showed you what was out there and promoted the artist. And there is a chunk of artists, at least enough to keep that going, that do want that adulation. I've got trophies, and maybe that helps 1%. I don't know what it is, but
when was
to
the
some
last
people,
time? Okay.
to some people it'll mean something. To other people, it won't. At the time when I was, especially when in my early years, it did mean something to me.
Me too.
Now I don't. I want different things out of tattooing.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with that. Do I still display them? Yeah, because it's kind of neat. It's kind of I'm like, man, you haven't been to a convention in a while. Yeah, no, I haven't.
whatever.
Whatever the conversation is, hey, they're there. It was a part of my life, part of my career, and I'm kind of used to getting things in my body to mark things.
Right.
And it's no different in setting stuff on my counter. But either way, I think it's a good way for people to get to notice other artists, and it's a good way for that artist to make them feel good and give them that energy and that pat on the back that maybe they're not getting in other ways. Do with it what they will. I think it's beneficial both ways, but it's hard.
And like
Well
I said,
said.
it's that isolation thing that goes on sometimes when you're
Yeah.
because we've all been doing it long enough to know
Right.
part of the burnout syndrome is you're in a corner
Yeah.
by yourself
Yeah.
doing the same thing over and over again, and
Absolutely.
and you're just dealing with these clients that sometimes they're great, sometimes they're really happy, sometimes they aren't. So it's another way to go out and kind of go, hey, this is what I've been doing, I'm sharing this, because
Yeah.
let's face it, how hard would it be to take even a month worth of tattoos? I mean, we focus on one tattoo a week. We've been doing that for almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine trying to
Tattoos
do like every tattoo we did in a week? And
Oh, geez.
Michelle, if you look at me with a question on your face and say tattoos of the week, I'm gonna get up, and I don't want to get up because I'm very comfortable
you've
on
been
this leather
featured.
couch.
We've done two with
Yeah,
you.
we featured you. What are you
Yeah,
talking
I
about?
was just mentioning it, not with a question. Sorry. I was just like,
We have an echo effect if that's what you're wanting. You don't have
No.
to just
I mean,
pretend to echo.
And what I'm getting at
Okay.
is that is
Sorry.
just a small part. I mean, that was what one day. You just love giving her crap.
I can't help it.
Big
I never
brother.
had a sister.
I
It's
think
fucking
that's
perfect.
why you hired her in the first place.
No, well, maybe subconsciously.
Maybe.
I don't know. I just anyway. That's a whole other topic.
Yeah,
That's
it
another
is.
show.
But I mean, if you really think about it, you guys work on an average about 40, maybe more hours a week, sometimes 6 days a week. 1 3-hour tattoo out of the week. That's just one thing. There's a whole bunch of other stuff
Yeah.
that's going on
Oh,
that
yeah.
no one ever gets to see, and those people aren't all in the same place.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, conventions
Most-
can be really helpful in that direction.
And that's most the reason when people are like, well, why don't you do conventions anymore? And I'm like, because it worked.
Yeah.
I don't,
have time
I don't
anymore.
have time to go to
Yeah.
conventions anymore.
Yeah.
I have to decide that the experience of going to the convention is worth me losing money to do.
and that's the same
Right.
way I feel about festivals and
Right.
music.
There's no way I can go to a convention and make money.
No.
It cannot happen.
If-
No one would pay me the hourly wage,
Right.
and I wouldn't feel good about charging the hourly wage it would take for me to go to a place and make money.
Right.
And it sucks that I have to make money, but that's just the world I live in.
Yeah.
And darn it, I've gotten myself to a point to where I really have to have a good reason to dig myself that much of a groove to recover from to go do that. And why did I do the conventions in the first place? It was so I could be busy.
Yeah, when I started out, it was to get noticed and busy and blah,
Yeah.
But like now, when I go, it's in a place I want to go to. It's by friends that I have, or a bunch of people that I really love and like are going to be there. So it's a chance to like interact with them or whatever. So like at this stage in my career, conventions are exciting to me for that reason. Like it's a family reunion. That's why I like to play it by the hip and not book up because I'm not going to make money.
And
I would love to tattoo while I'm there, but people are going to walk up. But I don't want to have to tattoo the whole time I'm there. I want to go see Joe Blow. I want to go buy this. I want to go have a beer at this, in the middle of the day with this artist that I've always revered.
And that's
because
a big
he can.
reason I don't do them, because
But that's why I'll go. But it's like a vacation.
I'll put it
I'm gonna go
all
with
in
the
one
flow.
word: distraction.
Just
I
put
don't
the
like- I don't-
gone
yeah.
looking sign up instead of the
Right.
But it recharges your batteries.
What did you say?
I don't.
You're gonna put up the gone. I'm sorry. I
No,
keep
no,
interrupting.
no. I'm sorry.
The gone. I'm gone looking.
Sign
Instead of
Yeah.
gone fishing.
Right,
Well,
right.
And that's the main reason I don't really like doing conventions. I have, some awards from some, but chances are I didn't tattoo with them. I went with some friends that had some work, they entered it and whatever. I've only worked a small handful of them because they're so distracting. I want to go
okay.
meet people. I want to
Yeah.
talk to people. I want to relax and do
Right.
this thing. And I either have to do that or I have to work.
Yeah.
I can't be working and going,
Nope.
oh, wow, ooh, look,
Nope.
look.
Look at her.
It was
look at
real.
that.
I don't like that.
That
I
was the
really
worst
like that. I really like having my comfortable space where everything's right where I reach for it, and I can really focus and do my best. Some people have this; they can just zone in and nothing else matters. Maybe it's because they're bored of the convention thing and it's just their daily grind, and they can tune it out. I can't, man. I just want to look and go. So me to work at a convention's really hard, because for me to take time off away from the shop, it's screwing me anyway. And then not to be at least enjoying or getting more out of that experience kind of feels like a double whammy.
But that's why you have to do it approach it like a vacation, basically.
Yeah,
It's
That's
a weekend.
what I do with Sturgis now.
It's a weekend vacation.
If you choose to,
Right.
But
and it's very rare that I'm going to choose to. But yeah, this convention that I'm going to be working, Jimmy, kind of like you said, I don't know, I'll put up a gone fishing sign, but I'm going to go with the flow and take it like it is. I got a couple good friends back here in Des Moines that I'm going to set some time to work on. I'm going to miss knowing where everything's at. That is definitely a hard spot to be in, but
Part of the fun a little bit.
And the big thing is Kelsey, who works with me, Kelsey Washburn's coming. It's her first tattoo convention, and I think that it's going to be fun to show her and share that experience with her.
Absolutely.
Don't you think, being as established as you are, once people know that you're going to be there, it's not like you're just going to be there as an unknown waiting to tattoo and go, oh, I guess I'll walk around and see if something comes. I mean, you're going to have more people wanting to get tattooed by you at that convention than you're going to have time to tattoo.
Yeah,
set
so
appointments
I'm
with
going
her
to
at the
set up my
shop.
boundaries. I'm going to set boundaries and know how to say no.
It's your opportunity to be able to see if they want to set appointments at the shop.
Right, I can hand out my card.
They don't have to get tattooed this
I can
weekend at that
explain
show.
to them how I'm doing my new booking process.
Low.
Well, no, but you're there for people to kind of see you and remember you and get to know you
Yeah, I
again,
know.
and like I said,
I think
it's
you're
just,
putting too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I get all your reasons, but if you could, you're having a hard. You choose not to. You're too distracted. Let go it for vacation.
I have to go to either I'm working or I'm not.
Yeah.
And so if I'm working, I'm not going to half-ass work. I'm not going to go, well, I'll do this or that. I'm going to end up, even
So
if
are
I
you implying I'm gonna half-ass?
No.
Okay.
Just,
even if I even if I told myself, okay, I'm only going to tattoo for 5 hours today, and then the rest of the day I'm going to relax, I'd end up talking to somebody who has this dope idea that I cannot freaking wait to jump in, and I'm going to be
Might
there
happen.
all day, all night, and I
he
might
did
as
it at
well
my
been
shop
at the
in
studio.
Deadwood. I don't know how many times.
But I think at your age now, you've been in it longer. You know how to set those boundaries.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No,
I
he
couldn't.
doesn't. No, he
I
does not.
personally, I would get to the point. I get to the point even when on a full work day. It's like somebody will call me and go, it'll be like 15 minutes before we're ready to close. Now, if this was 1992 or 94, 95, I would have been like, yep, come on in. I'm staying here till 4 a.m. if it takes it. Now I'm like, no, come in tomorrow.
Yeah,
Dude,
I need my time.
If it wasn't for Jessie, my wife, I can't say no to customers most of the time. I hate saying no to them. So I'll, you know what I mean? I'll work late. I'll do this. I have a hard time saying no. And she's like, no, man. You've worked 6 days. Take a day off. You're going to be a butthole.
So that'd be the hard part.
Yeah.
And I always, and a good way to put it is the festival thing, because you've tattooed at festivals. I've pierced at festivals. I don't know if you guys have.
So distracting.
It's like any band you actually want to see, you're not going to get to see it.
No, you're not there
because you're there
doing
fun. and you're not. Personally, I don't enjoy it at all because you have like 5 seconds with these people, and they're usually not quite there, at least in my experience.
Yeah. Well, when I first started doing like not so much conventions, I guess, but a little bit, but Sturgis, in my mind, I'm like, okay, people are going to be smart enough to not go to Sturgis and get a sleeve.
Nope.
Or a back piece.
Wrong.
Or a portrait. Or something that you wouldn't normally think, in my mind, that you'd get at a biker rally.
Try again.
Oh, no.
No.
People, I've done all of those things.
Yes.
In Sturgis at a biker rally, sitting in a plastic foldable chair.
Yep.
Yeah, the worst case scenario.
It's
totally.
If you're an artist and you think, this will be kind of a, a little kind of easy day. Guess what? These people came to a tattoo convention, and in their mind, the only people that are going to be tattooing at a convention are the best.
Yeah.
So they're going to come up with their most incredible idea they can find, and they're going to walk that floor until they find exactly
nightmares.
Exactly.
Well,
what they
no.
handle
We don't
I'm
wanna
going to
do that.
handle.
I felt this way when I started working, like once I got through my apprenticeship and I started working on a convention, and had to make my living out of the convention circuit. I felt that way 100%. When I started working Sturgis, I had to work because all the money I had to the last dime was spent to get there and set up.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like you're effed.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I have no expectation to
But at this point in my career,
money. Yeah, that's a
Right.
good way to approach it.
yeah. So at my point in my career now, like if I go to Sturgis or if I go to the convention, like with Michelle, if I had a booth, cool. If the mood hits me and I want to, I'll tattoo. But you tying me down long enough to talk to me about a tattoo, you got about a 30% chance because I'm wandering around in Tommy's booth, BSing with Tommy, and now I'm over here at Freddie's booth, and now I'm over here at Jack's booth, and you know what I mean?
These artists will show you their machines.
Yeah, like I'm messing around with machines and art and iPads
checking
and this
out
and
prints.
That's why you hire a couple people just to hand out keychains and stickers and
see, I approach them now as more like I said, like a vacation. I'm having fun. It's a family reunion. I'm not there to make money. If I do and I want to, cool, but I don't have to.
Maybe I'm just in the mindset that and I could go to a convention out of state or something, and I wouldn't probably have much problem doing that.
No, not at all.
But I think there would be enough people, because there's such a tiny little glimpse of time you have at a convention to actually tattoo. For me to do a convention, this like Michelle's doing, I think there'd be, and it'd only take 3 or 4 people that wanted to get tattooed by me and saw that as, if I said, hey, I'm going to be at the convention, come by and see me, there would be enough emails that would...
You'd be booked.
Yeah. So I have to either decide, okay, am I going to work or am I going to play?
Yeah.
Because me just kind of, being a spider in the web and just picking a bug if I feel like it, I'm hungry. Unless it's, I could go pretty much anywhere else.
Right.
But, to do it here, I'd have to pick. If I had a booth, I'd have to work.
Yeah, now here it'd be
or I'd
that
just
way.
buy
Because we're local.
pass.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
and
because
the
I have
convention's
enough
local.
because I have enough clientele here that they would go,
Yeah.
dude, my appointment's not till July.
Yeah, I can get there. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not really advertising that I'm going to be there.
Sorry.
Yeah, and that's good.
I want to go and have fun. I want to kind of go with the flow. And
Right.
I was at a convention once, and it was probably the last one I did. I can't even tell you where it was, but it probably wasn't far. It was maybe Illinois or something. And I think at least 2 of the tattoos I did that week, and this was not like big internet time either. I can't remember how they ended up. Maybe just on the website. They just, or they saw my name on the list or something, and they did some research. But they actually came and... we want you.
Oh,
and that
great.
was
That's
years
awesome.
ago, so don't underestimate how many people have seen your stuff.
Right.
And will find out and they'll jump on it because a lot of people are busy, and if they can get a killer tattoo like next week at the convention or whatever, they're going to be in line, man.
No offense to my besties. No offense to my clientele that are Des Moines. You know, my roots are here, even though I'm in Iowa City now, you know. So no offense to any of those. But I do hope I get an opportunity to, you know, I mean, tattoo somebody that maybe traveled to this convention. If that even happens.
When is it? When's the convention?
It's pardon me, April 29th through May 2nd.
Oh yeah,
that Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
This will be out before then.
Yeah, so we'll see if the city actually lets it happen.
Yeah, if this.
But they did a rodeo down there at the event center, so I'm sure it's safe to do a tattoo convention.
Yeah,
they're starting to kind of roll again.
Yeah, I mean, I guess is how you set it up from that standpoint. What are some of the things that you guys, if it's the first time they've ever gone to a convention, what are some of the things you would suggest that they bring along with them or have kind of
open mind?
We've already talked about planning ahead, and if you do want to get tattooed, setting up an appointment.
Yes.
Definitely bring cash.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves cash.
Yep.
At a tattoo convention.
Cash is king.
Stay hydrated, boys and girls. Is there anything else that you would suggest?
Comfortable shoes.
Comfortable shoes. The right attire if you're going to get tattooed.
That's a huge one.
Snacks.
Yeah, like, what if you want to tattoo like my vagina or whatever? Like, well, then you're going to lay out here on a massage table with everybody in the world in this place seeing your junk because we're at a tattoo convention.
Yeah,
man.
and it's the same way with piercing. If you want your nipples pierced,
and it happens. Like, there's not a big thing. It's it's just nudity. It's not a big deal. But
if you're going there as a spectator, you're going to buy the laminate. You're going to be there for the weekend and stuff. Look at the city too. Mm-hmm. Because the convention floor is only so big. The bar at the hotel is only so big.
Yeah.
And more than likely, you're in a pretty cool city.
Yeah.
And not only that, but that city is stuffed full of dope people like you, man. And they're out exploring the city. So don't be afraid to get away from the floor. If you're not getting tattooed, obviously, get away from the floor for a while, go out, see, around that area, use it as a time and a way to explore that area. Because like I said, as a spectator, if you don't have a group you're going with or whatever, if you're going there as like two couples or something like that, pick a place outside the convention and go check it out because
make some memories.
That for me, especially after you've gone to a few, they kind of run together and you can't remember one from the other because they're kind of similarly set up. And the way I can remember it is getting outside the city, going, getting 6 blocks away from where the convention is and kind of seeing and getting to know around that area. So do a little research before you get there. Seeing, and
if you go after hours, you might see a group of artists because we used to do that. We'd all get together, and if it were in a cool city, which is like when we went to San Diego, me, Larry, Bill, he was from what's his name, Frank, in Vegas. We all went down to Tijuana and got street tacos and carried on and had a good time.
I don't even want to know how that ended.
Whatever, but anyways, whatever. So we were in San Diego, so we took the opportunity to go to Tijuana because we were all there. But after the convention was closed at night, when the floor closes at whatever it is, 8, 10, 11, midnight, you got nothing to do, and you can either go to the after parties and drink beer and get in trouble, or you can go wander the cities. And after so many conventions, you get bored with the after party.
Yeah.
So you want to go do stuff.
That's a big plus, I think, to them.
And there's the other thing is most of these conventions, they have at least a Facebook group or some type of social media, whatever the hell you want to call it, the networking.
Yeah.
You can usually kind of hook up with people that you may not normally encounter.
Yeah.
And have a good little group of people that go out and do a little pub crawl or restaurants.
Yeah, there's
or
definitely after party places.
You have your own
start
little group
there and then go explore the city.
Yeah,
and they're going to have good suggestions if they're from there for restaurants and etc. Because let's face it, regardless of where you go in the world, the thing you spend the most money, at least in the United States, is every trip is food. That's where you're going to spend the most money. And if you're buying at the convention, you're not going to get good food.
No.
And it's going to be overpriced.
And remember, if you're into it, and not all tattoo artists.
What?
You sound like my grandma.
He's our elder.
Yeah,
is the elder.
said I sound like my her grandmother. Yeah, I have
Not
to
even
say,
her grandpa.
I have to say, every trip
Sound
I've
like
ever
Nanny.
taken that went over budget, it was over food. And it usually wasn't good food. It was
I
like
told y'all to eat the
food I
sandwiches.
didn't want. But,
If you'd have eaten the sandwiches, we wouldn't have went overpriced.
Here you go. It's
Well-
pickle and pimento. I don't care if you don't like it.
To finish the thought, not that it matters right now, but remember that, the bigger tattooing gets, the more diluted it gets with the type
Yes.
of, the walks of life that get into it. But at the core of it, there are people that they're little nuts, man.
Yeah.
It takes more to freak us out,
Yeah.
So we like experiencing stuff. We're party people, I guess, to put it simple. Not in like a alcohol drug sense,
No.
but we like to experience stuff.
Life.
And you're in a city that's packed with all those people, and nothing better to get to know them.
And
We're all
Yeah.
really pretty dope people, I think.
Exactly.
And with a bunch of people that are like-minded, loving tattoos.
Yeah, where else can
know,
you be yourself, man?
You get to let your freak flag fly.
Exactly.
You know?
You're not going to be the
necessarily
weirdest. I
drugs.
dare you to be the weirdest guy at a
luck.
convention. Someone's going to kick your butt on that one.
I should
Always.
probably mention something about piercing at conventions.
Yeah. Have you ever?
Some conventions have
I've
some.
never done a convention. I've done festivals, and I absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
Made a lot of money very, very quickly, but that's about all I can. That's the only positive thing I can say about the entire experience.
Yeah.
With getting pierced at conventions, you are going to be in an open area. Usually, it's not the cleanest area. There's going to be no privacy. You're out there as the freak show. My experience at conventions, it's usually there's a huge group of people sitting around watching whoever is the latest victim get pierced, and that's that kind of peanut gallery thing of it. If you're going to do that, it's possible. There's not going to be any problem in most cases. The biggest thing is that you better be prepared in advance to have the proper things to take care of it, because they're not going to have them there
Yeah.
in most cases.
And you'll always run into those people that want the most incredible, weird piercing
Yeah.
that that's hard enough to take care of, let alone at it. Yeah.
They want something that'll make the magazine or stand out or blah,
That's
blah,
the
blah.
fine line,
Play piercings.
I think once and every artist is different, and we all, everybody has kind of their own lines that they like to stay within.
Yeah.
And mine is, I want to be in a place where I can do my best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
Depending on the situation, but if someone's coming to me and, as John Smith Tattoo Hunter, and they requiring something, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to require me this to give you what you're expecting, and that is, my absolute best, I guess.
Yeah.
So
It is going to be.
But like I said, it depends on the situation. So like at a convention, my thought would be, well, it's a convention. A little looser. You can't expect me to knock out a back piece. You know what I mean? So just be conscious, maybe,
Yeah.
So that's the weird line for me is like, well,
Be reasonable.
I'm at a bike rally. I know what you've seen my work, but this is bike rally, Jack. But they don't see it that way, And so it's kind of like, well,
It's a fine line.
Yeah,
man.
and it's whatever you're comfortable with, and what.
Yeah.
Are you trying to say that the artist may be a little hungover?
Well, I have a perception of what the client expects at a bike rally,
Yeah.
and that's not it.
I've worked at Sturgis, but I would never work in a tattoo studio the way I've worked at Sturgis sometimes.
That's what I'm getting at. It's like
you know what I mean? Like, I don't go have a beer at lunch at a studio.
Yeah.
At the bike rally, we might go have a beer for lunch.
yeah.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Kind of.
But-
It's just
but
stupid stuff.
But to the client, that doesn't matter.
I know.
You could have just
They don't care.
done 4 lines off of 3 different hookers'
Yeah, they don't
butts
care.
and slammed a half a keg
Yeah.
of Coors Light. They're still going to go,
Coors.
so
Yeah.
can you do the portrait?
Right. Yeah. Most of them
They-
are like, let's party and do this
they-
portrait. Like,
They don't get it at all.
No,
They,
not at all.
Either it's trust or just, they just have no idea.
yeah.
That you're off the leash for the first time in a while.
Well, yeah.
But, but there are people out there that realize, not probably the place to get the best work.
Yeah. I'm not going to get
from-
my portrait now.
Right.
You know.
But so you've got to deal with both of those spectrums,
Exactly.
and you have to pick where you want to be. You know, where do you stand in there and stick with it and realize where that puts you, I guess.
For sure.
So it can be trickier for one artist rather over another and all that, but it's something I struggle with. It's like, well, yeah, I could do it for 200, but why would you even come to me?
Right, like why?
Like, it's kind of a why.
So maybe the best way to do a convention would just be like the Friday the 13th thing. This is the tattoo you get.
That could be cool, right?
And I do plan on doing that too. I hope to. I didn't mention it because I've been procrastinating, but have a few designs ready to choose from. Some flash, or maybe I might even say, I'm only going to do this once, but here's 4 or 5 things. Yeah. You dig it? Let's do it now. I'm ready for it. I've got all the math, all the problems figured out.
Exactly.
So then it's a full-on souvenir for that convention.
Right.
So you could easily then put those online saying, hey, this is the tattoo I'm doing. If you want to be tattooed by me at the convention, getting this design, either this big or this big, either here or here.
Yeah.
Send me a message. And then boom, you know who it is, you know where it's going, you know the size, you can have it all ready to rock, and then boom.
Yeah.
Or you still have but if you don't, then you could come in that day and go, that's a dumb idea. I'm just going to drink Bloody Marys all day until I see purple and pink elephants playing in the field.
Well, I definitely kind of think I'll be more in moderation. Like,
there you go.
I'll drink a little.
Just
I'll
one
party
elephant?
a little. I only want to see one elephant. Shake it off early in the morning.
I don't know about the guys, but I'm planning on showing up every day of the convention after work when we close at like 8. So I'll be there by 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Oh wait, maybe I'm gonna see like 5 elephants. Now.
Yeah, so you get an hour and a half of
Just
it.
telling you.
Yeah,
I don't care about
So
that.
that's the other thing is like people don't understand is that would be us shutting down on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
That's our 3 busiest days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of packing things up and
it's to move it 6 feet away. We might as well move the shop out into the parking lot, really.
Yeah.
Because we're not getting any more exposure than we normally would for
Yeah.
the most part, and everything else.
There's no gain.
So again, like if I went pretty much anywhere else, it would be a different game. I could just kind of sit back and maybe pick and choose.
Take you to France. And you can
but
do whatever
I'm
you want.
interested to see how it goes for you. And
And we'll come down and say hello.
I want Kelsey to know, like, realistically what it is.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah,
so I'm
totally.
like teaching her. But, I also think it can be a fun experience, and there is a lot of hassle to it.
Oh, yeah.
But you could easily say, too, depending on the clientele that are wanting to get tattooed, you could say, well, I'm X amount an hour here if you want to get tattooed because, it is their cost and it is what it is. I've got a lot of people wanting this 6-hour slot and only one of you gets it.
Exactly.
So if you want to spend X amount an hour, yeah, man, you're my guy. But if not, I can get you in a few months.
Yeah.
Just raise your rate. I mean, they're gonna should almost expect it,
Right.
especially if there's a long wait for you anyway.
Right.
If you want to come in.
And she is real. Like, then you can go take. I'm sorry. So you can just go take that money and like get your own souvenir. Maybe you can hook it up so you get tattooed by an artist.
My convention price is always higher than my home price. Like if I'm $125 at the shop, I'm like $180, $200 at the convention.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just to cover my expenses. I got a room, I got food, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But
And depending on the convention, you really have your pick and choose.
Yeah.
I mean, you always have more people
yeah,
than
there's
you
always
can
people
tattoo.
that want, yeah.
And usually what happens is you end up picking a few pork chops at first.
Yep.
And then they railroad you out of getting this dope ass piece you could have done if you would have waited.
Sometimes.
It's always a crapshoot. So that's why I think it's good to, as an artist, know why you're going there and what you want to do and stick to it if you can.
Yeah.
And if you're a client going in there and you want to get tattooed, the earlier you talk to your artist, the better, whether they're going to run it
Or not,
like Michelle's planning or not, or however.
They can tell you.
You'll know. And then, hey, you know what? If you have a second or third choice and they all strike out, then you go learn about the city, explore around, get to know other artists, and who knows, you might find someone who even clicks with you better.
Okay, so one final question, and then we'll wrap this up. Is it that much different to be tattooed, or I know from piercing standpoint, it definitely is different when there's a pedant gallery, when there's people watching you?
for me, I liked getting tattooed at conventions because you can't be a sissy. You got all these like people that don't know you walking around. So like you got to be kind of tough and stuff. Like this hurts like hell, but like I'm not. How much longer before I get a break? You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
there was that aspect, but I don't know.
I think
never bothered me.
I like the distraction while I'm getting tattooed. I'm inside my head enough as a normal just walk around guy.
Sure.
So anything like when I got both my hands done at a convention, one right after the other, and man, I remember it. It hurting, but more I remember everything else.
Sure, people coming by, checking you out,
watching.
Yeah, it's easier.
People watching is amazing while you're getting tattooed at a convention.
Yeah.
I also got my hand tattooed at a convention.
I was at that one.
Exactly, we had a good time there.
Yeah, we did.
And then we explored the city and had drinks with flowers in it.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Do you remember that?
What cities was this?
Drinks. It was
Cincinnati, and Cincinnati was the one that got my hand tattooed at.
See, I don't know.
I got mine tattooed in Charlotte at the convention.
Too many conventions. But anyway, who knows what I was talking about now?
We were
getting
talking
tattooed
about
at conventions.
getting tattooed.
Well, yeah, I know that
Specifically.
specifically.
Sorry.
You got drawn back to a former time.
Yeah, but
That's a good thing. That's what tattoos are for.
Exactly.
Being
One of the
distracted.
many reasons, and piercings too. Getting pierced. The other thing we kind of brushed on, but in the preparing wise, if you need to have clothing that's going to limit the amount of exposure of the body if you are uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, it doesn't bother anyone else.
Nope.
Trust me. At a
And
convention,
they're probably not paying that close.
they do not care.
I could care less.
But if you care that people don't care, then you might want to bring something
No
to
problem.
or get tattooed at a private session.
Yeah, whatever.
Because they will sometimes tattoo in the hotel rooms or wherever they're at.
Well, it's usually not legal, but by private session, I mean go to their home studio.
Yeah, go to the home studio.
Yeah, and that's another thing I was going to bring up when we were talking about price is usually it's going to be much more to get tattooed at a convention.
Yeah.
It gives you an idea. You can get a card and get tattooed at their studio, and maybe it'll be a better experience.
Yeah, it's a great way to window shop artists other than sitting at a screen. You get to see their mannerisms, how they work. They might be using a chisel and a frickin' 5-pound hammer banging. And you're like, well, that's not really what I'm into. It is a really good way to not only see your artist, talk to them, but really just watch them work.
And enjoy their bedside manner.
Exactly.
And their band.
Check out their vibe.
There's really no other option you're going to get unless they work in an open like Sailor old school shop where it's very open, which I think fewer and fewer studios that I understand are doing that. So it's a great opportunity to watch them work.
Yeah, there isn't too many studios that are left with the pizza window.
Nope.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the old fishbowl.
Yeah, where they just have the window where you can stand there and there's a bench so the kid can get up there.
We had one in Sturgis.
You know what I'm talking?
Yeah.
You've been to those. I have.
I thought about putting
Back
a
in the
station
day.
right in the front window of the old shop. I thought that'd be rad. That's
awesome.
Have the window right there. But anyway,
Yep.
Can we go now?
Yeah, I think we're good on this one, unless everybody has anything to add.
I think we beat it pretty good. Anybody else?
No, damn good.
No, good.
So what we come down to is go to conventions, enjoy
fun.
yourself, have fun, and that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up. Follow this wherever you're listening to or watching. Subscribe, hit all that notification nonsense, and etc. If you like swag, you like t-shirts, etc., check out our merch store. Link is going to be in the description. Till next time, here's hoping all your tattoos and piercings heal with ease and without a single issue. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area or the Iowa City area, we hope to see you for your tattooing and piercing needs in the future. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for watching or listening.
See you guys. Be nice to each other.
Later.
Bye.